Hello and welcome to Dr. Mommy Cake's channel. Today I'm going to be focusing on one particular step of decorating with fondant. I'm going to be showing you how to drape and cover your cake with fondant and how to get it to stick nicely. Now this is just one part of the process. If you want to see the whole full process, check out the videos in my fondant playlist. So first of all, you need to have kneaded and prepared your fondant. If you don't know how to do this, check out the video that will be showing up on your screen. So now I'm using my silicone rolling pin to roll it nice and flat. Now one key important thing to do is make sure that you don't roll it too thin, otherwise it will start to tear. So in this video I think I actually rolled it a little bit thinner than what I would have liked, but it still worked in the end. But if you're a beginner, maybe you start with a little bit thicker layers so that it will be easier to handle, and as you become more experienced then you can make it a little bit thinner. So you roll it nicely until it's nice and flat, and you can see that my fondant is nice, soft and pliable, and I move it periodically to stop it from sticking to my work surface, which is a silicone mat. So that's the process that you want to do to get your fondant ready to be draped onto your cake. You also need something to act like a glue between your either ganache or buttercreamed cake and the fondant. You can use water or you can use shortening, which I have used in this case. And you can see that my ganache cake is already nicely set, which is important so you have a good foundation for your buttercream. And I'm just applying a thin layer of shortening around my cake. And next, I gently lift the fondant and gently drape it over the cake. So you can see in some areas my cake was already starting to rip, and that's because it's a little bit too thin. So that's a mistake that you want to avoid. And you want to use your hands to smoothen the fondant onto the surface of the cake, and then smoothing on the side, and then work your way down, just smoothing the rest of the fondant onto your cake. This process can take time, so don't rush it and just go with the process. Again, smoothing down any imperfection. So you can see that at this stage I'm not using a fondant smoother, I'm just using my hands, which is actually your best tool to get the fondant to stick onto the surface. And you keep working that, unfolding the pleats and pressing against your cake, and this will get your fondant nicely adherent onto your cake. Don't worry if things don't look nice and smooth at this stage. We're going to finish up and perfect the finish with a fondant smoother. If you want to see that full process, again check out the video which should be showing up at the top of your screen, and again watch the playlist on fondant decoration for more in detailed video. Then I use a sharp kitchen knife to remove the excess fondant at the bottom of the cake, and do this nice and gently, taking care to just cut out the excess and not to cut out too much. We're going to then use a smoother to finish it off and get a nice smooth edges. So this is the steps of covering a cake with fondant, and this is probably how things will go at your first try with fondant. So don't worry if it doesn't look perfect, we'll work on that, and it's all part of the learning process. Thank you for watching, and check out all the videos in the fondant playlist, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you next week. Happy baking!